Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unarmored Talk podcast, where we will have real life conversations that hopefully helps you gain a better understanding of how feelings, emotions, and thoughts can influence the outcome and to help you develop an accurate way of thinking. I'm your host, Mario P. Fields, and joining me today is the Charmaine Betty-Singleton. She's a lieutenant colonel, retired entrepreneur, veteranpreneur. I think she built a space shuttle. I mean, she has done everything in every sector of the world. Charmaine, please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners.
Good morning. Thank you, Mario. Yes, I am fortunate to do what I want to do. As a child, my parents told me that I could be anything that I wanted to be and
Right.
do anything that I wanted to do with hard work and dedication. So I took that to heart, and I have tried to not only work hard and do what I want to do, but help others in the process. So that is
I
me
like that.
all day long, and I go by the AKA, so to be, as CBS, and that's what everybody calls me.
You're a retired lieutenant colonel, so I can go Charlie Bravo Sierra.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah. And I like what you said, Charmaine, before we jump into the topic. It's your parents, they gave you that positive reinforcement early, but you went from I can do this to how can we do this? How can I be better for other people? And I really picked up on it, and I really appreciate that, Charmaine.
thank you.
No worries. So let's jump right into the topic. The diagnosis. Ma'am, you're going blind. Talk to us about that. Give us some background.
Yes. Well, I grew up at an early age wearing glasses. And
Hmm.
so, as you get older and you want to be cute and everything like that, I had LASIK surgery.
Right.
So I didn't have to wear glasses, only sunglasses. And throughout the years, I started losing sight, but I thought it was just because of reading, because I am an attorney and everything of that nature.
Right.
But it wasn't no big thing. I just go back to the glasses. So, long story short, I go to Iraq, and because of my rank, I don't have to drive around. People are driving me
And
around,
and
taking me
Charmaine,
different
what rank were
places.
you? And what was your rank?
I was a lieutenant colonel at the time in Iraq, and I
Wow.
was on Joint Base Balad.
Wow, Lieutenant Colonel in Iraq.
Yes. And so I really didn't notice that anything was that bad because people were taking care of me as I was taking care of others.
Right.
So I come back from the deployment and everything and go to where my car is parked, get into the car, try to back it out. And long story short, I can't see. I am barely navigating, to try to do what I needed to
Right.
do. So I called the doctor, and that's when it happened. They told me through after a bunch of tests that not only did I have a problem with my retina, I had glaucoma, and I also had a condition called keratoconus.
Wow. So you're a lieutenant colonel. You're back from Iraq. You survived the tour in combat. You're just simply trying to back out of a parking spot. Well, I'm assuming on base, or was it
No,
local?
it was at my friend's garage because we had to store our cars
Right.
before we left. So it was at her garage, and I'm backing out to go where I have to go
And
now.
and just can't even really see. And you go to
Right.
the doctors, just not even imagining those diagnoses, if you will. And I'm not a doctor by any chance or way, nor do you want me to be one. But so talk to me. So when you get this news that you essentially your eyes are shot, right? Your eyes are bad, and you're a lieutenant colonel, and now you can't see. What's the first thing what went through your mind?
That this is not going to happen.
Mm.
I have to see because seeing is my livelihood. Seeing is what I do as an attorney. I have to read briefs. I
Right.
have to read people's documents. I have to give advice to other people.
Wow.
And then I read in my part-time life, advocating for others, writing books, doing different things like that. So, and even for fun, I love reading books. At the age of 7, my dad took me to the library for the first
Right.
time, and reading is my life. It calms me down, and I'm like, I can't see.
So this
I
was a
won't be able to
major.
see.
So right. So this was something major. Like this was taking away
Yes.
a major. We always talk about feelings. That's your eyes, your ears. Your smell, your senses. So it's attacking one of your major feelings. That's your eyes, and
Yes.
something you enjoy doing. And wow. So you so you have all of these emotions running through your mind. How did you started to how did you go about your daily business after that as a lieutenant colonel and you're an attorney?
Yes. So basically, for the most part, I hid it unless I had to tell trusted friends,
Okay.
because I had to do my job. You
Mm,
know, I had to do my job. I had to accomplish the mission. And because of what my parents instilled in me and because of my faith in God, I was not really taking this diagnosis. Um,
right. So you were in kind
so
of denial.
Yes, I was in denial,
Yeah.
and I had to wear these hard contacts, and I pretended. I'm going to be honest. I pretended to go through the motions so the
Right.
doctor could give me this contact so I could leave, and then I was going to figure it out later on because I needed to drive.
You mentioned, Charmaine, you mentioned something, and I'm glad we're talking about this. I think a lot of times, a lot of us are in denial of what is wrong with us, and and
Yes.
and it makes a difference. And I don't know, it's our pride, um, whatever, but just listening to you tell me how you were in denial and what you did. Do you think that helped your situation or later on hurt your situation?
I think it. I'm conflicted with this answer
Yeah, that's fine.
because in the military, in the army, our army, you suck it up and you drive
I
on.
have nothing against the army. I'm a Marine, but we'll go.
Yeah, and you suck it up and you drive on,
Right.
and you don't want to show any weakness, and you try
Yeah.
to find solutions to problems. And as an officer, you learn to do those kind of things, but also you don't want anybody to use anything that is negative against you.
Right.
So the people that needed to know, because I know I could go to them for help and I would probably get the right kind of compassion, I told them.
Right.
And that was my support system to help me to do what I needed to do until I was ready, because I had to disclose it eventually when I had surgeries on my eyes.
Right. Right. And then so from the time you got the news, I won't say bad or good. I'll just say, we're trying to teach the listeners and viewers an accurate way of thinking. The news. From the time you got the news until you had the surgery, what was the time span?
Um, I came back in 2011 and my first surgery was 2015.
So 4 years later, and I'm assuming that your eyesight had to get better or worse. I mean, what was the doctor saying before they could do the surgery?
Okay, because of my age and everything, they told me
At
basically,
25?
yeah, 25, something like that. But because of my age, and at that time I was under 50,
Right.
they said that it had to get worse before it got better. So they told me, and I had medication, I had eye drops for my eyes,
Right.
and I was going to the doctor back and forth. But basically, they said before I had surgery, it had to get worse. It had to get to a point that I was almost blind, so to speak. And then they were ready to do it. And what they did was one eye first, which was my left eye, because that was the worst eye.
Right.
And they did that. And then when that one was almost healed a year later, then they went ahead with my right eye.
Wow. Wow. So 4 years later, two surgeries, and did that improve your eyesight, your confidence? How was that after the
Um,
surgery?
Yes, it improved my eyes. Yes, it did. I wear now hard contacts to see daily. And
Okay.
so some days that it's a struggle to get
Right.
the contacts in because they're hard ones. And I'm supposed to take them out throughout the day to get my eyes to have some air in them. And for relaxation, I take off out the contacts and I wear, if you want to say, Urkel glasses. Everybody remembers that. And those are not really for seeing, it's just to rest my eyes.
Right.
So I
Wow.
can't drive with that. I can read a little bit, but normally I will just, if I am going to read without the contacts in, the books or the paper is close to my face. Um,
Right.
yeah, so that is my life. And if I'm having a bad day, having a migraine or anything of that nature, and I can't get the contact in, I'm homebound.
Right. So I know in the military it is a lot of the demand on senior officers, and then you're an attorney, so I know your circle is even smaller as far as colleagues that you could talk to. But the depression set in. I gotta believe that I can only imagine getting that diagnosis. So I gotta believe that there was some type of depression, and if you did experience it, how did you cope with it? How did you deal with it?
Yes, it did set in.
Yeah.
Because I'm a driver normally, and my friends are all over the place. And so I was limited in driving for a while. Um, and at some parts, I could not even drive. Um,
Mm.
I had to depend on others, and that is not something I normally do.
Right.
Normally, people come to me for help, and I don't like asking for help.
Right.
So I had to do things a different way. At nighttime, when I could drive, I couldn't drive highways. So I'm taking the long way. So something that may take 15 minutes may take me an hour because I'm bypassing everything for the safety of myself and other people.
So
So
your entire life just had to adjust.
change for
And,
that moment in time and trying to deal with everything. And yes, of course, I was depressed. And
yeah.
so we have coping mechanisms. And with
Right. Let's talk
me, for
about that.
different things, prayer, of course. But when prayer is not working, I'm one of those people. I have something to drink at night to go to sleep,
Yeah.
and I have coffee in the morning to wake up. I don't drink to get drunk. I drink so the the depression, the loneliness, the I can't believe this has happened to me goes away so I can sleep,
Right.
and then
And I think a
drink the
lot of us.
coffee to wake up to conquer the world and do the mission.
Matter of fact, let me. Yeah, I got my coffee mug right here. Let me.
Yes,
so
yes.
looking back on it, Charmaine, and as we define feelings, emotions, and thoughts, I think a lot of people get confused on what is a feeling, what's an emotion, and then what's a thought. Um, Feeling is what you see, of course, where you had a challenge with that. Feelings is all your hands, your eyes, your ears, and then emotions is that anxiety, that depression, all that internal stuff, and then thought is just going, okay, um, what information do I have? What do I know? And let's make a decision. How did those three things play into what seems to be a very positive outcome from a dire situation?
I have to go back to my faith and my family. You know, we've been through a lot moving from the West Indies to the United States.
Mm.
Me being one of the first people in my family to go to college and law school, going into the military, being deployed. I took everything, whether positive or negative, and said, you know what? If I can overcome this obstacle,
Right.
what I've done in the past, I can overcome this. Yes, I have to listen to what the doctors say. Yes, I have to, still exercise and eat right. But I think it was mostly that positive um foundation that I had, that
Mm.
this too shall pass and I can get through this.
I
And
like I like
to
I like how you
keep
highlighted your experiences.
Yes, and keep pressing on, keep moving through, keep walking. I couldn't give up.
Right.
Because I still had a lot to accomplish. But at the same token, I'm saying, okay, if I have to learn Braille, I'm going to learn Braille. If I have to find somebody that's going to help me, they're going to help me. If I need a dog and I don't like dogs, nothing against dogs, I'm going to get a CNI dog and we're going to do this thing because my life is not over yet.
Right.
Whatever it is, so I made some alternate decisions, as a strategy, because I know I had a lot to accomplish.
Right.
But my first and foremost thought process was, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to be able to drive. I'm going to be able to work. And it's not over until God said it was over.
Right. Wow. And you kind of remind me of myself. I mean, I when I was born at 5'2" and I never grew. So I just said, so I said to myself, it doesn't matter how tall a mountain is. It doesn't matter. I'm 7 foot now, but and thank you, Charmaine. Again, I really like how you highlighted your experiences when you were young, and how your parents and that foundation shaped your ability to handle a crisis, a personal, professional challenge. As you gotten, I don't say older, I'll say seasoned. That's the new word for 2020. I'll say seasoned. Is there before we close out, because I know you are busy and I want to be a good steward of your time again, ladies and gentlemen, you got to read Charmaine's bio on LinkedIn. She is I think she's building a space shuttle right now. But is there anything, looking back on that situation, and is there any advice you can give our viewers and listeners in regards to when they wake up and they get informed of something to them that is not good, if you will?
Yes. For me, personally, and I don't want to use religion, but I'm a person of faith.
That's fine.
So the first thing for me,
this Unarmored Talk.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that's me. But after that, assess your relationships and find people within your support system that you can talk to and that you can trust. And those people, for me, they help me through this process. Another thing is, if there is a doctor or a professional that you need to go to for help. My doctors were amazing. Right. I cried when he gave me the news, and I said, okay, you got to break this down to me because I'm not feeling good about this. And we had an honest conversation. So doctors are good. There's a stigma about going to a doctor, whether it is, your mental health professional or something of that, a psychiatrist or something of that arena. Go to them, use them. They're there for a reason.
Right. No, I like that. Ask for help. That's what I got from you, Charmaine, is just don't be afraid to ask for help.
And then don't give up on yourself.
Don't give up on yourself.
Yes. And one thing also is, you did not cause this situation. A lot of times when something goes wrong, it's like, what did I do to make this happen? And the doctors would say, well, this decision. I was like, okay, don't blame me. All right, just fix it. I'm not having this kind of pity party. Your job, I'm a lawyer. You come to me for advice. I come to you. Now you need to fix me. So fix it,
Well, it looks like they did a wonderful job, and I got your information. So if something happens to me, I'll call and get your doctors. But ladies and gentlemen, again, we were blessed to have the Charmaine Betty-Singleton with us. And until next time, and I want to leave everyone with this too, is as Charmaine so eloquently stated, we all will have our own experiences that's unique to us, but it's that your attitude, it's understanding emotions and applying thought to get you through it, and just staying positive, saying, I know I can make it through this. Can I get an amen on that one, Charmaine?
Amen. Hallelujah.
The next time, I'll see you guys later. All right.